I was gonna get to a point where I was like, listen, you've said enough things. You've spoken blows. You've hurt me. And you just keep saying things. And I can't take it. So goodbye. But by then, you be out there hanging out with the lady, hugging her and squeezing her all the day long, knowing how she feels and to be in her hug. And so it's about the comfort of my body, it was going to be even worse for you. So in the better, you did better to diss me before you could even so much as like kiss my cheek. All that guy ever did was hug me. So it's fine. It's okay. Let's keep it at the hug, nice and light, nice and tranquil and peaceful, like a lake on a still quiet day and there is a canoe thereon. Let's keep it mild. Okay. Yeah. And then he's like, let's get drinks, at which point I didn't tease him. I was like, listen, I'm a massive sycophant of this guy. So when after teasing me, he then was like, let's get drinks, I was like, oh, it's all very unfortunate and genuinely just being a good human being. I was like, I came here with my friend. And she's like, come books, and I can't like just leave her. She is gonna go to my apartment and bake over there. So now that's who I came here with. And then he was like, oh, okay, sharp. And even in so saying, oh, okay, sharp, he was mean-spirited. And listen, this guy wasn't so much cognitive dissonance, fine. So he goes and pays for parking. I'm like, goodbye, hug him again. And I just let him go. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with this guy. And he also clearly doesn't know what to do with me. And then I go to Kumbus, I see my friend, and I tell her my experience. And she's like, go, I'll take your keys for the apartment. And I was so desperate to call this guy and be like, come back, let's go for drinks. Because I just wanted to have with him. I liked him so much, even though he was so rude. Because that's just crazy women out to be like thirsty all the day long for crazy guys. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, but I didn't call him back because I didn't want to look desperate, especially considering last night he was oozing sad. And this here afternoon, he was oozing rude. So, lo and behold what happened. That's why I let him go. That same evening, I go into Facebook and listen, that exact same evening. Maybe that's why he was sad. Maybe he was just tired of being a douche. Perhaps he just felt like he was a mad jerk, like just a whole voluminous jerk. And so he couldn't stand being all that kind of hectic jerk. Maybe it was that about like juggling two females. I don't know. I'm in love with these two chicks. I don't know which one to pick. Like, who do you think you are? Old school rapper. That very same night, that very same evening, Mamela, this guy wanted to sit with me at JB's corner and have a drink or two, pay the bill, and then go. That same evening. It was a Sunday, I remember. Yeah. Sunday. Oh, it was a Sunday. I remember. That very same night, Facebook. I go into my Facebook account and I go into his and upon landing on his Facebook post, dude, that very same, listen, the exact same, it was afternoon, early afternoon when I met him to give him his wallet, and same evening. It made me decide that you're not doing this to me, Lebala. You're hot dog, but you're not that fly. Like, you're just not. That same evening, he was at OR Tambo Airport going overseas with his girlfriend. Same day. Not the next day, like Mamela. Girlfriend would take photographs of him and her. So this chick was in KZN when the soccer match was happening. I don't know at which point they met, whether she came to his apartment later on that evening and then the two of them went to the airport, or if they met at the airport to go together overseas. But they were planning a trip, and it was a trip to go overseas. And it was that exact same Sunday evening. Same. And the girlfriend would like, she used to like taking photographs of everything, every one of their exploits. She used to like taking pics of every last one of their exploits and then posting them, and they were very high quality photographs, do you understand, of their very high quality life. And she was at the airport with him that same evening. Maybe he just felt like a douchebag, I don't know. Maybe he just felt like a crazy jerk, I don't know. What made him sad was knowing that tomorrow evening, at this very same time, I'm gonna be going overseas with my girlfriend, but I'm in love with someone else. He was probably singing Jasmine Sullivan's song in his heart, but the reverse. Oh, I'm gonna forget you, 'cause I got a girl, oh, believe me. And though I would love to leave my girl, she got money and you don't. Oh, but baby, it's not that easy. I feel happy when I'm hanging with you. It's so much better than anything else. And if I was not so money hungry and cloud chasing, there'd be no competition. But I can't be with the woman I love, 'cause I'm with someone else. Hey. Yeah, this dude out here, same day chick, tagged him on Facebook at the airport as they were out here waiting to board an aeroplane. to go overseas somewhere, Spain, I don't know. And this guy had earlier on been with me. I wonder if he was cool with her, if he was not maintained in that sad disposition with her. Oh, baby, hey, I'm so glad to see you. I'm so excited about our trip. Yesterday, he was on a date with like another chick. Yeah, I know, I'm a daughter. You be juggling all the day long like you are clowns, okay? Juggling. And when I saw that pic, those photographs, that collage of pics of him at the airport, like, listen, it was in real time. This chick was out there posting in real time. I was like, I made a decision that very night. I was like, he's not doing this to me. I started praying to God on some Papa, I want you to give him with this guy. I'm not going to be his side. I'm not going to be something I told Alangayo. Something different. Like, he feels also he's uncomfortable. He wants to be with me and hopes that the date's going to come, and I'm happy to accommodate him chilling at my apartment and leaving at like 2 a.m. to go and meet girlfriend Aya so they can plan a trip to Spain. I'm sorry, like, listen, I don't know the life of a side chick, but I was given like a glimpse of it, and it was just too much of a horror movie for me to deal. And I left. I was like, I'm not trying to do this. I was at that stage broken up with my ex. We never got back together again. The same friend that used to bake at my apartment. What do you call this? My ex-boyfriend. Well, she came to my apartment, I think the next weekend again to bake. And at that stage, I'd already made a decision to pull my out of the other guy. And I asked her, how do I know if I should get back together with my ex? Because this guy hurt me so much with the date that he took me on. The very same evening, the very next day of which he then went on holiday with his girlfriend. It hurt me so badly that I just wrote him off altogether. On that particular day, I wrote him off. Yeah, I did that. I comprehensively wrote that little bugger off. I wrote him off. And so because I wrote him off, he left such a bad taste in my mouth that I was deeply considering getting back together with my ex. Mamela, I'm going to church on Sundays. I'm praying. I believe was I born again? No, I wasn't saved yet. I was convicted of the things of God. I liked being in church, but I was not surrendered. So I wasn't born again yet. Already I was perusing. And my ex-boyfriend, at that stage, because I just struggled to be single, and the way that guy did me so dirty, I was like, I've been with somebody stable all this time. My ex-boyfriend called me, like the Friday. I get up, my friend came again the next Saturday to break. My ex-boyfriend called me, we were broken up. On some carabo, can we talk? Like, can we talk? Can we get together and talk about us? Like, we need to talk, right? He wanted to get back together. And I was willing to accommodate this because I was like, I'm out here being treated dirty by some other guy, and I've been with a guy all this time. Like, let me just stay where it is, that it's home, it's comfortable, and like, Mamela, I'm way in over my head. Plus, I can't also be with that guy. So I was willing to accommodate my ex, and that guy made it more so, I think. Because I was like, you're not going to treat me like some side nonsense, okay? And that day, I asked my friend, I was like, how do you know if I should get back? How can I tell if I should get back together with my ex? I prayed to God to try and find out if I should get back together with my ex. And my friend was like, my ex, on the day that my friend was there at my apartment, I was supposed to, again, herein lies me meeting with guys at Clearwater Mall. I was going to meet my boyfriend, my ex, at the Clearwater Mall. And he didn't come, he didn't pitch. And his mother called me on some making excuses for him. And I was like to my friend, how do I know if I should get back together with this guy? And this friend of mine was like, your answer's been given you. That's your sign. You asked God for a sign. There it is. He didn't pitch. He didn't rock up. He didn't arrive. It's like God just caused such a double whammy, a triple whammy of just disappointment from guys. That ultimately, I literally got rid of every last crush I had, everybody that I was messing with, every strange thing I was trying to do. Every last thing he started, and I was like, I'm done. And my ex and I never got back together, though I did consider taking him back. I did consider, and no, I never went back to Facebook. That day, the way that I was so angry at that guy, when I saw his photographs with Mediate, the way that I was so angry when I saw his photos with his Medi at the airport, the very same day that he was prepared to even have drinks with me earlier on in the day, and later on, Mediate, and you understand, like in my face type thing. I was already, I was busy deactivating from Facebook and reactivating. On Facebook, I see him that night as a reactivated account, and instead of deactivating, I just simply not only unfriended him on Facebook, but I also blocked him. My content. My Facebook. Yeah, I did that. I just locked him out altogether. And I suppose he figured out that that's what I did. And then after locking him out, I deactivated again. So today, today my Facebook is open, it's yawning, but I don't care about it. He wouldn't be able to access it. He wouldn't be able to look at my photos, nothing. Because I not only unfriended him, but I also blocked him. I made a decision that day, I stuck to it, and I never looked back. I never looked back, but he did. I never looked back, but he did. I never looked back, but he did. I would grow stronger and stronger in the faith. And as I would grow stronger, more so did I just answer all these guys. And one time, when I was so done with this guy that I even saved his number in my phone as do not answer. I saved his number as don't answer, and indeed, every time he called me, I wouldn't answer. And he called me maybe like 3 times ever since that date. I never called him back. One time he called me a private number. I was in the office. He saw me walking around. He saw me walking around the building because he was having a meeting on the main campus in a boardroom. A private number. And when I answered, Karabo, hello. Because if it was his number, I wasn't going to answer. He's like, Weyangi Balega. And I was like, no, it's not that I'm balegaring you. It's not like I'm running away from you. He's like, I saw you walking past the boardroom, you're looking beautiful. I was like, thanks. And he was like, anyway, I was just calling to like let you know that I saw you and what's up. Okay, sharp, bye. He realized that I was running away from him, and it would be at that moment, at that juncture, at that point, when he would then invest in a lot of sorcery on me. That was when he was like, it was clear because when he went on the phone, he asked me, I obviously evidenced in my tone that he is Balega boy, because why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I run away from you? What are you trying to do? And what were you trying to do with me? You wanted to make me a side chick that would fall head over heels in love with you, and then listen, you find out that you're getting married. And then I side chick that then finds out that you're married, though she thought she was yours. When then she heals after finding out that you got married. I get a note about the feeling style, this strong that you were not loving or feeling all that much in comparison to someone else. So we understand that I found you there only another woman, but you were still single and frankly up for grabs. So that passed me up, and decided even though that you're gonna be catered to by a woman in a relationship. You did that, dog. You did that. You're the one that met a woman that you could have totally been a man to, and you chose not to like run with that. But in all fairness, it couldn't have worked because my technicalities from history with your boys, that relationship was just doomed from the get-go. It was just doomed from the get-go. It couldn't have worked, but it's healthy to explain what in the world is the epidemic going on inside Amatota. They make decisions to pass women up based on things like you haven't traveled the world, you don't have enough money, your family doesn't have clout, you're not going to look like a power couple to me. This here chick is the one with whom you're very comfortable. You will keep making decisions for spouses inspired by such a feeble decision-making criterion, and so therefore miss out on the love of your life. You are my friend, and you will keep on missing out on some females in these streets. Let's just put that out there. It's going to be maintained as a going concern. All of this missing out on females in these streets type business. It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna hang out with you like it's a homie. It's going to chill next door to you like it's a neighbor. It's going to be entering your garden like it's a cat. It is going to be sitting around rolling on your floor like it's a moth. That's like exactly what in the world is just going to be maintained as a going concern. So Hariseki Remona Mustrating. You be passing up loves of your lives. They are your friends. Cause they ain't never seen the world. We see. You will keep on passing up women that are the absolute loves of your incendiary lives. Cause they ain't got no clout in these streets. Okay, so then this guy started to invest a whole chunk of sorcery, and when I saw this witchcraft, I didn't understand it. When I saw I was all nice and confused by the diabolical things I was seeing. Because I did not understand my dreams until I lost everything. Until I actually lost my job without cause and understand this guy. I think this is the beginning of my faith. And I would then be happy, wealthy, and wise and employed and just treated well like a human being. For 3 years before losing everything. 3 years before losing everything. So it would be 3 years before I finally understood what I was seeing in my dreams. And so therefore, in retrospect, think about this guy on that. Why did you do that? Like, you're the one that passed me up. You're the one that acted like I ain't Jack. You're the one that kept on dissing me every time I was with you. You're the one. Ooh. And again, he also made a decision to exercise self-control. There was a time when he called me and he was looking for an apartment to live in this neighborhood. In the neighborhood because I cannot look up Pitori and it was fun. And he wanted to meet with me to try and understand, to try and help him basically find an apartment in this hood. But he made a decision not to because he was looking for an apartment not just for himself, but him and his girlfriend. And he was literally out there going to try and help me, or rather ask me to help him go house hunting for an apartment where he was going to live with his girlfriend. This guy was just in a cognitive dissonance. No, that's what I get saying. It was his apartment, but it was at that stage where it is that he was about to actually move in with that chick. So he called me at work when I was now saved and I was not trying to pull stunts with him. When he called me, I answered. Yes, it was his number that was there. No, actually, I didn't see him. I was. Well, what do you call this? I was leaving the office and he was coming in, and I met him at the turnstiles or even the revolving door at work. And when I saw him, I was like, hey, what's up, right? I was still like all smiles. I was fresh. And then he was like, well, hey, what's up? Been a minute, And I'm like, yeah, it's been a minute. What's good? And then he's like, yeah, the other day I was like, I'm looking for an apartment in like this neighborhood, and I wanted to call you just to get like some tips and hints as to where to start scouting for an apartment. And he was like, yeah, I just like, it just eluded me. I didn't. So I guess maybe I'll still call you. And I was like, yeah, sure. Okay, cool. I was happy to help him try and search for an apartment, but he didn't call me because he probably said to himself that I can't stumble myself with this chick, and not only can I not stumble myself with her, she has evidence that I got strangely, and footing for an apartment with my girlfriend. Like asking a chick that is a guilty pleasure to help me look for an apartment with my girlfriend. Like, what am I doing out here house hunting with a woman in order to help me find an apartment that I'm gonna live in with another woman? I was not gonna go house hunting with him as a Christian. I was just gonna tell him, oh, this is the neighborhood and these are really cool apartments that you can live in. This is a great neighborhood and it's really close to this joint. I was gonna give him all those tips and hints. I was gonna be collegial because I was born again and I was determined I was gonna be friendly. But he decided that no, let me not stumble myself, and also evidently, and she has displayed that so don't be out there playing any kind of game. Yeah. So that was the last conversation I ever had with this guy, like as in forever. Never ever heard or talked to him again, but I did at some point talk to him over email because I didn't understand my dreams. I apologized. I apologized for stumbling him with his girlfriend, and I told him that I got a dream about him and me being in some capacity as some interrupter of their union. And I said that your girlfriend is a lovely lady. She's wonderful. She's good. She's beautiful. I'm sorry that I ever stood in the way of you and your relationship. And he didn't respond. I responded. He should have just said thank you. He should have just said, I'm sorry. Listen, I apologize for stumbling him. Because I was a Christian now, I was so mature. But he did not come back to me. I emailed you. That was the last time I spoke to him. But I only wrote him an email because of just the flood of dreams I got that I didn't understand. That's why as I respond, I'm sorry. Anyway, whatever. So the dreams that I got then, the first one about this guy was where I was like, yeah, my aunt again, but it was mixed with some other house I didn't understand. And I walked into Jarata ya Kohabona, and again, in these dreams, I was always a teenager, and so was he. I walked into Jarata ya Kohabona. When I was a teenager, I had lebanta lelenge that my mother gave me, La Moschino. It was a beautiful leather belt with like, it was caramel in color, and it had stitching. It had like chocolate brown stitching. And I used to love wearing that belt. It was just so fashionable, right? And that belt was just like hanging out as among my fashion items in this house. Right? It was my auntie's house, but somehow it was mixed with some other house I didn't recognize. And I walked into the kitchen and I was a teenager. Okay, and so was he. Older than me, of course, by the gap that he was older than me by. And I walk into the house and his mother, this woman that I understood to be his mother, wearing widow's clothing. Like she had lost a husband or even a child. I walk into the kitchen and the mother is like, yo, mtwanam, hello, kahabo ufigile. Hello, the mother loved me. The mother was besotted with me. And the mother was trying to shove her son to me. The son was actively trying to be with the woman that he was with in waking life. In the dream, the mother was trying to shove him to me. But in waking life, the mother was trying to shove her son to me, and she did not like girlfriend. The mother did not like his wife, like at all. Like she was literally trying to force him to be with me. But this guy was determined to be in the media, not in the media, with her. So when I walked into Jarat, I can't say it like me, because Papa, in my dream, it's like I was so therefore the other woman didn't matter. I walk in, and the mother is like, and then she sends me to this guy, where he stayed, and my clothes were like hung all over Lendrulena. My clothes were hung all over Lendrulena, including the bandi, le moschino that I used to wear as a teenager. They're very fashionable. I walk in, and the mother is like, and the mother leads me to Ilumyakon, the mother of which evidently Meganga Mufuni, the girlfriend that this guy wanted me. He had photos of his girlfriend in his room on the pedestal, and he had put them down in order to not offend me. But I knew that he had put this chick down, and that dream was so hugely exploitative sexually. Like, he wanted to have my body, he wanted to have sex with me, and I was like sitting in the bed with him making out. And I was like, I don't want to have sex with you because you won't leave this chick. How about and I'm not going to be your side piece. I don't want to be your side chick. And we were arguing, we were fighting, we were going to and from, and he was giving me so much attitude. He was trying to make out of me a side chick. And I kept saying in my dream, I don't want to do this thing with you. He said, I don't want to be a side. I don't want to be second to that chick. And then I even kept saying to him, I was like, even your mother likes me. So why under heaven are you insisting on maintaining this here woman? I don't get it. Like, if you don't want to be, remember, I'm a teenager at this point. I was like, if you don't want to be with me, then it's like my presence and my clout and my influence was in this house, and there was nothing that this guy could do to escape it. But this guy wanted his bread butter on both sides. He wanted to maintain in this chick, but like make me a side chick. And in the dream, I was refusing. Ultimately, the fight ends up that I was having with him. It ends up with, because we started off making out mumpeto. The dream was hugely sexual. Yeah, but no sex happened. I ultimately, ripped myself. I got up off the bed. I'm very busy. I'm trying to get a side piece, right? I get up off the bed and I leave. I get it initially. I leave Nikwatile on some. I'm leaving Yahamba dog because I'm not going to be into Yona. So I found this girlfriend here. So I was like Nyahamba because I'll follow like good advice. So about the counsel. So had this guy and we were at odds in the dream. And the mother was like, hey, Evusi, hey, Evusi, hey, Evusi, hey, Evusi, and Vusi was like, ma, tell me again, and the dream ended with me just leaving. Side chick. I don't know that this is the woman for you. And with this guy being like, and the mother wanting nothing to do with the media, and with my clothes hanging in this house, it's connected on my land from that whole ecosystem. You can be there from that whole entire ecosystem. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I was like, yes, if your mama like me, that don't matter. Because if you don't want me, and if you want to make me a side chick, because you're the woman that you are with, you're using her for clout. And that's the one that's going to give you influence, but you want your bread buttered on both sides. I want nothing to do with the situation. So anyway. Anyway. I did not understand Lepupo. And it's not the first one that I've gotten of a man's mom trying to shove me to her son. My ex-boyfriend was to try and get me back together with him, and did not want her son with the woman that he finally married today, and is trying to shove me back to her son and telling her son, go back to Karabo. And you follow wait again, you busy. But first time, Bashimani Babona, the better women. You can take a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. But you know they're saying a mother's instinct. A mother's instinct. Umfazi ozodlisa indoda ure. Umfazi that is going to be out of feeding medicine to a man. Uma wakhona, though she might not know ukuthi ikefunda kuyathakathi, uzoyifila that thing. And if umama uthanda indodana yakhe, she's just not gonna gel with a chick or busy. She's not going to gel. She's not gonna know what it is, but she's not gonna be feeling it. And recently, I had a dream of my ex-boyfriend's mother looking at me, though I would imagine that she did the way keep her indodana yakhe ngakhona ngamatswapi namabhungu. I would imagine that she would be mad at me. But in my dream, she kept looking at me on some usasemuhle karao. Listen, in my dream, my ex-boyfriend's mother, the one that I dated for 5 years, was like usasemuhle karao. I was like, how kwatela? I said to the mother of my ex-boyfriend in my dream that kept on telling me, the way keep family the way I even exposed on my content, in the way you try to get me back together with your son, that level of exposure, and the fella, and then my ex-boyfriend's mother in the dream also was wearing widow's clothing. It's almost like these women mourn their sons when they marry crazy women. Type establishment thing, and I was sitting at a distance. Well, today it's my uncles, but the origins and roots of my grandmother. She was sitting opposite kitchen is quite big. She was sitting and I was sitting on this side, and I'm just here looking at this woman, expecting her to be like, on the rooftop all these years. I was expecting her to but she just sat there on some I was like, in my dream, a mother knows that they know when a woman that njepela is just inyongo ephelele yonke ugwebu masatsa wathi mushimane is about to marry it. They are following, they are chasing clout, and they're ignoring their moms. My ex-boyfriend's mom, the reason why he called me when he passed me up on that date, when he didn't come, she called me because to her it was like, listen, my son doesn't know what he's doing, but I'm going to stand in the gap for him, but it didn't work. And my ex's mother kept on saying, when the dad would be like, let him go and find another lady out there. Guy over here, the mom kept on being like, why? Guys, the indota ezodlisa, indota, and make him a zombie is cover, and make him somebody that's gonna indeed chata. She's any kind of intuitive and sentient as a whole human being. I don't know what it is. And with my ex, the mom did not so much the other chick that I did not even find out until much later is the same chick that he used to give me grief with when we were dating. I tried and my ex-boyfriend. But the mother just and then went to my ex on some can you just go back to Garab? Can you just go back to Garabo? You be out your men, you be out your daughter, and all of your misogyny. That was the right one. It's just hard. Do you understand? And you only find out later on in life. And both these women were out here rocking widows' attire, almost as if though they were already mourning. It is written in God's word in Proverbs 7 that the feet of the immoral woman goes down to death. Both of them today are still alive. Their spirits and their souls essentially are low-key condemned because of bad girls. Bad women condemn women. The Bible says that a wicked woman is like rottenness in the bones of a man. The woman that would ultimately become the wife of this guy that I'm out here telling you about. I had so many dreams where now she was trying to do fix-up witchcraft on me alone as Karabo, with her man not being in the picture, because she felt guilty for what had ultimately become of my life, because this here happened to my life. She was not trying to destroy my career or ruin me or make out of me a nothing and a nobody. She just wanted her man to look only at her and not look at me. But ultimately, because she was busy surveilling my life. I had a dream once upon a time where she was trying to help my cause. Essentially, I was like her charity case. She felt bad. She was like, listen, I was not trying to make you not marry or not. I was not trying to make you not have a career. I just wanted you to get out of sight of my man. If a man is not given autonomy to go and love who he wants to love, he will at some point try to make a side chick out of the chick that you blocked him from seeing. Is that basic? And Kim Tricky Buang. Basadi wanna that think that I'm gonna make like Brandy and Monica and be like, no man, but yours, not yours, but mine. And that boy is mine. I'm not doing it. Because they passed me up when they were perfectly able to marry me and not you. But they chose you because of your meaty and also because of your clout. So my poverty, frankly, was like my blanket of shielding. It was my savior. The poverty is what God put me in, that I might be passed up by men that would not make right decisions where I'm concerned. Or even, seeing as I was employed in corporate South Africa, be married off to a man that would marry me for no other reason but the clout I give him. Better than me. And if at all that's a thing, I would have been then the frustrated wife that actually is dealing with a man cheating with a side chick. That has always been his heart, but had no clout. I've spoken about this in my blog before, in my ministry before. This here man's mom in my dream, though this guy, I never met his mom, his whole family, his whole situation. This situation never. Why? Because that relationship never could have worked. I spoke about that. It never could have worked. I spoke about that because of all the technicalities of what it would have meant for me to be with him. From what the Lord showed me, if at all these here technicalities did not exist, his family would have been relieved. His mom, let me not say family, because sometimes you be finding men that are to be helping men make mistakes, or even women. But no, let me say men make mistakes. But before my ex's family, they worked, took the nail. There was one of his cousins, my ex. In his life, but it was always the men that were like, but they broke up. It's you and it's you put way to they're not getting back, they're not fine. Like Mamela, they're not getting back together. But every guy other told her girlfriend the grass is green on the other side. Oh, telling him made proper, you marry someone else. But his female family members, or some get back together. One of his aunts came to my offices because she had a daughter that worked for MTN, and I saw her at the coffee shop at Chaketsing on and I greeted her. I was like, hello, auntie. She was like, oh Makotika Lerato. Let's say my ex's mom's name was Lerato. She was like, yo, Makotika Lerato, unshani. And I got saying I'm all broken up with my ex. And here in life, this man's aunt called me Makoti. Mewa my ex, whose name is Lerato. Oh, Makotika Lerato. Like, Mama, go canteen, go office, go MTN. Because she just could not stop saying. And she was there with another elderly lady. She was like, she introduced me to her friend that she was at MTN offices to go and visit her daughter as Makoti wa my ex-boyfriend. And I was just out on some son, what man, what are you doing? I'm 17 years old. Pinky, let's say the name of the chick that was working at MTN was Pinky. Yeah, no, I keep seeing her lie office thing every so often. Yeah, I know. I guess he's on bye. I was just laughing. I was just smiling. I was just decent. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I could not correct the lady. Oh, those are thunder strikes. I could not correct the lady, and I'd just be rude and say, I'm not Makoti wa Lerato, wa mam Lerato, because I'm not with her son. And at that stage, it had been like a whole year. Well, since my ex and I broke up, it had been like a whole entire year. And this lady walks up and calls me Makoti wa Lerato because the mother was still, even after Isha, on some minangtandu karabo. Amba uyo buyelana no karabo, minangtandu karabo. Listen, if your mama be feeling a chick, sometimes you just feel like yehosa. Basadi trokalang basi mani balonyala where they want to marry. But a lot of times it's also intuition. It's a woman's intuition. They just know that they know what's good for their boys. And when these guys go in, like in these 2026 streets, they be out just grabbing whatever bride comes, and they're ignoring their mothers. They're ignoring their mother's counsel. I wouldn't be surprised if this here dude that was messing with me all the day long and all the night long, I wouldn't be surprised if my thing it was like, are you sure you want to be with this chick? Are you sure this is the woman for you? While that woman never met me, in my dream, she wanted me for her son. So it would unlikely not be an error that the mother probably said, I don't like your wife. I don't like the woman that you want to marry. But if you want to marry her, go and marry her. And like, our mama are honest, they are candid. Because so if you're going to go and you're going to marry a woman that your mother wants nothing to do with, Mamela, you will succeed to marry her at your leisure. But your mother probably is onto something. Or try fila. So I wouldn't be surprised if this guy was sat down by his mom and asked, reconsider staying with this woman. She's not for you. Your sisters was younger than this guy by 6 years. Our mama tend to not like women that are older than their sons, so age was not the factor. It was something else that made this woman despise this chick enough to tell her son, and like I said, recently my ex's mother saying to me not so much that I'm physically still beautiful, but that my heart is still right, that I can so change, that I can so lower, that I can so manipulate, that I can so be that leave a that I to be feeding a man at least in daughter. That chick. I get mama, although grand no fazi lisa in yake. There's no woman in these streets that is going to be okay with some crazy female after making her son marry her. No woman is going to be content with knowing that the girlfriend of his son, of her son, is bewitching that man. And this woman, this chick, enough for mangene kishi, angbolisa inhliziyo enge. Wangibonisa ukuthi umntanakhe, my boyfriend that wanted me as a side chick was the boyfriend was passing me shade, giving me attitude, wanting to maintain image yakhe emdlisayo. But umama was like, ngicela nje uyokhuluma noKarabo. Ngicela nje uyokhuluma noKarabo. Go and talk with Karabo, please. Ke batla Karabo. I like Karabo for you. Ana musadi. So both sisters was just saying, be careful. While guys may be dumb, babe daft, babe here nges kilo. They can tell when a chick is out just listening a man. And about those bias kill himself. About those bias kill himself. So I bane about to try him me. Kupanjos kalo yang wana I wam shiman. Nkala ba sisters nina at least ama daughter. Anizo get along. Nabo mama bakona. You are not going to win the favor. It's raining again now. It's 6:06 in the morning. You're not gonna win the favor of women. No mind that even spirals in the eyes, going and going and going. Are they hypnotized by some crazy lady? And then I richly wanted a man whose mom would love me, whose family would love me. I didn't want that. And I had a dream of my ex's mom saying, So, like I said, my ex-boyfriend was likely responsible for why this oak kept passing me shade. Cause Nala busy and his girlfriend, she was definitely busy. I can definitely tell you that. Because of the thought that I got about her in her unique capacity. Having never met her, and however, having stepped on her toes, and I did that. I will admit that I did that. Okay, I did step on her toes. She was here first, so frankly, they deserve each other, and I was nowhere in any kind of right standing to do all such activity. But I did it. So, I mean, I wonder how, as the Angela Musadi was something. On that day, you're just a prop at the wedding, do you understand? On that day, in Jefela, like Mamela, or ornament, or vase, you're there because you gotta be there because Mtana Kuya Chata, Koto Auchablang, and Umamonjalo. She might even facilitate an adulterous affair with her son, by her son, with another woman. And I facilitate Zanjeka Lula. Abo Mama Acha Abasile, that are busy slipping mistresses into the drinks of their sons, because Babo Nubuti, umtanam taladiswala, and if I kijo umumpazi, umtanam. Wicked women lead men to death, they're unrighteous, they're unholy, and so men have no incentive to turn to God. Women are a helper suitable to men. They have power to influence them, they have power to convert them over, they have power to change their minds. Women have got power to make men see where, listen, frankly, just bitter conduct is coming from. But they also have power to make men see where gnarly and most nefarious conduct is coming from, depending on the female in the streets. So, if a woman is righteous, she can win her husband over for righteousness with her peaceable and a quiet spirit. But if she's evil, she can lead him down a rabbit hole of more and more incendiary activity, more and more criminality. My ex-boyfriend is a flat-out gangster today because of what he married. And this here guy, I don't know what's going on with him, the one that I'm talking about right now. But evil women do not incentivize men unto righteousness. And secondly, if a man is a criminal and he marries an evil woman, he will just become an even bigger mafia boss. So in my dream, the moms of both my ex and also of this here dude that I didn't quite get to be with me, but go get widow's outfit. As abafazi nje, abalahlekele. Ngabantwana or ngamadoda. But they were lamenting about their sons, so it tells me that what they were mourning were children and not so much husband. Yeah. So, anyway, this here guy, Togo Eo, that was the first one that I got. He would be able to confirm this or lack thereof in his own capacity. If at all, that's what I saw. I, however, left on some, and I keep side shit. After that, I would just keep getting these like series of weirdo, freakish weight dreams, okay? That I didn't understand. This guy in waking life, I didn't think he thought much of me because of the way that he treated me and how, like I said, he was giving such sad vibes on the one and only date we went on that when I kept getting Litoro Kayena, I couldn't understand. So you remember that we went, listen, I'm tired. It's 6 a.m. in the morning. You will remember that I went to, what do you call this thing? We went on a date, go FMB Stadium, Soccer City. Yeah, because it's still Soccer City in my heart. Okay. Yeah, we went on a date to FMB Stadium, go soccer matching finally, MTN 8, yeah. So, yeah, Pirates the Chiefs. Okay, fine, that date came and went, I enjoyed myself. I would keep getting nightmares like on a loop of that date. But instead of us being at the VIP section and enjoying ourselves, having a conversation, chit-chattering, I was in a shop where I was locked inside the shop, but like just outside, so FNB Stadium. Do you understand? Batho ba ntse ba feta mara nna ke lokilwe mo aga shopo go FNB Stadium mara eseng pela monna ona. I wasn't with him in my dream. As I was locked in this shop, I was with another man that I did not want, but that had locked me, incarcerated me inside shop or like some Baron's Plaza shop looking joint just outside this FNB Stadium, the exact place where we went on that day. And this shop, this man. And I wanted to get out and I couldn't get out. And when I woke up, I was like, that dream was in the context of the date that I went on with that guy. But here it is that in this dream, I'm locked in a shop. I don't know why it's a shop or FNB Stadium, but I'm incarcerated by some man. It is in the context of the date that I went on with brother man over here. Finally, I would understand my dreams. So Ella was showing me that this dude, as a result of that one date, where he was experimenting with what it would be like to be with me, he got so hooked that he was like, I cannot have Karabo be with anybody else. And then he used witchcraft on me that caused me to end up getting stranded in some space where they're selling souls. That's why it was a shop. A space where they're selling souls, and the person incarcerating me would be some man that would have locked me in this joint. Men that I was besotted with locked me in this condition that I am in today. The man in my dream, outside, not outside, but just around in the vicinity, in the general campus of that FNP Stadium. It's like this man, by doing witchcraft to make sure that I'm chati gahle, in an environment where I'm a particular man with particular types of men. Foster and in a shop in the That's what that dude did by passing me up. That's what I'm trying to warn unmarried men that are passing up women that they love. You will grab a perfectly viable, marriable young woman in her 20s and you will incarcerate her through occult practitioners that feel entitled to the very woman that you imagined was absolutely excellent, but that you passed up. You will use such hard knock heinous witchcraft that you will lock Karabo inside a house GBV just so you don't have to mourn Magachata. In this very situation that I'm in today. This is what's happening to people. Go, they marry their own women, and then women find themselves unable to until like, you tell me how many women dated a certain kind of man up to a certain point, and then after that, that's pertaining the quality of man that pursued them. That's exactly what's happening. And in my dream, I was stranded in a shop with some dude I don't want. FNB Stadium, evidencing the root cause of this witchcraft and where it started. A man out here besotted with a nice date that he, however, cannot repeat a second time, and it's like, I love you too much. to let you be somebody else's happy bride. Okay, listen, y'all, with your witchcraft, okay? Alright. First, he wanted me as a side chick. I guess as bike, I'm busy go FNB Stadium. Peladi occult practitioners. Alright, Abutine. That's what I am with, where he just would not stop. Gabuloi, this guy. That dude, how you gonna love a woman? And I'm a man, all this witchcraft is happening before he got married. He was still unmarried. At this point, he was just embittered because I didn't want to be a side piece. He could have just decided, I'm too in love here. By then, I was too Christian. I wouldn't have regarded him with any level of seriousness, given that to God, he was full of blasphemy. So I guess, thanks to my redemption, he was rightly found to be all that bitter. Because I would never have said yes at some point. Though there was a time when I was just his mammoth psychopath. In this particular dream, I was in a taxi. This was a two-pronged dream that involved a former friend of mine as well that bewitched me. And in this particular dream, I was really besotted with this guy. Well, I wasn't at that stage besotted with him, but I kept on getting dreams of besotment. Okay. Taxi, and a taxi always represents control, alright, in my dreams. Being driven around in this form of transportation or commuting in this nation that's so full of violence and so full of disquiet. I was in a taxi with my friend, and this friend had bewitched me in waking life. And I had this man that I wasn't in love with him, but I had very strong feelings for him that would have become love if things had lingered a little bit longer. This friend blocked marriage for me and many other things, including career. And she was his love interest in my dream. And it's like she was stealing him from me. Just a married Mela. So many people sabotaging romance in these streets, okay? And I was sitting in a taxi now. It's really true we were being controlled. Nonetheless, she was controlling a narrative inspired. And this man was standing outside. I drive some elaborate, luxury vehicle. It could have been a Porsche or a Lamborghini. Priding himself in his lifestyle, like he's less. Alright? I think I'm on taxi in. Nami, Nongani, that I was in this taxi with. Control really to get wherever the taxi's going. And I look at this guy outside and feeling in my dream like I'm not in his league. He's not for me. I'm not for him. I cannot find it. Because look at him and his Lamborghini and his elaborate outfit. He was drenched in designer apparel. And this guy, as I was inside the taxi, being controlled and commuting while he's driving a luxury vehicle. You passed me up, I didn't pass you up. So if you want to flash and floss your life to me, why? You passed me up. It's not like I said no to you, or you were a guy that was struggling. And then later when you make money, you're like, oh, look at me go, I'm rolling paper. You passed me up. I was happy to be with you in a Lamborghini, dog. Anyway, whatever. Herein lies this individual. Oh, here. It's like it's giving all the day long telephone call. Tring, wada. Naki feel small. Lamborghini, brother. Marahang Rade.